Yes, people, welcome back to AFTV. It's now time to do the Predict 11 video. I've been joined by Laurie and Dan Potts. Welcome, boys.
Love, bro.
Right,
Still recovering.
I think many Arsenal fans
I'm hoping this will be a therapeutic experience.
I mean, we just had a therapeutic experience on the preview. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. A venting sesh. This one I'm hoping to get through a bit quicker because we're going to be talking about players that we have available, which is not many. So it should pick itself, but we'll try and get some conversations in there. Let's start with in goal. I mean, Turkey said in the preview, try something different. Do we bring Neto in or do you keep with David Raya?
We've got to keep with David Raya. I actually thought, do you know what? I know he was to blame for the red card, but I didn't think he was one of the people that could have walked off of his head down, to be honest. I know that he was playing as a centre-half, as he always been asked to be at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's the reason that could have chipped him. But I think this season is one that can actually be a positive for us, to be fair. And a lot of people are arguing about the Ramsdale Raya thing. I think that's clearly been put to bed now. Raya's clearly better for us. And I think, deserves to be in goal. I think the start that he had for us, I think you could have said he was one of our best players. And I think when you look back, he'd probably go down as he's got to start for me.
David Raya, I think, is an easy one, Laurie, to say. He has to go.
Well, you know what? I've got a slightly different take on this. Let's see what you think about it.
Here we go.
So I heard you guys talking about doing something different, and I thought, you know what? Based on what was probably Arsenal's best moment of the game,
Eddie and Kerry.
You remember? Now Raya tracking back, winning the tackle, doing a Cruyff, putting the ball over the top. Maybe play him up front. Raya in goal.
Okay, good. I was going to say, I don't know if he was being serious about that.
Got to have a laugh and a joke, man. But seriously, on Saturday, that was Arsenal's best moment.
Yeah, speed was good.
That's scary.
In an otherwise terrible day.
100%. Right back, boys. Do you put Ben White in for this one?
Yes.
I think I see a lot of fans online saying this is one of the positives of the game, Ben White returning.
I think Timber needs a rest. I think that's apparent. I mean, he's been playing through injury, so we understand. I think Ben White has... he's never let Arsenal down. He's been injured. I'm sure he's absolutely gagging for a game. This would seem to be the right time to put
throw
Ben
him
White
in against a Hudson-Odoi or a Langer straight into the
but
away.
Ben White has shown over the years that he has a mentality to do that. He has the athleticism. He's probably quicker than Timber, is he? I don't know. It's probably not much difference.
Yeah, fair.
But anyway, I think...
so you want to see Ben White?
I want to see Ben White.
Do you think the manager will go for Ben White, or do you think he'll stick with...
And that's no shade on Timber, by the way. I just think that Timber needs a rest.
Do you think the manager will go with Ben White or not?
With a manager, it's hard to read him sometimes. He's a stickler for staying with what he normally does, so he probably will play Timber. But me, personally, I'd like to see Ben White start.
Okay, Potts, is it a Ben White or Timber? Remember, there's no game on the weekend, so afterwards there's FA Cup weekend, I believe, so we haven't got a game. So do you rest Timber completely and keep Ben White in, or do you, because Laurie makes some good points there, or do you play during Timber? What do you want to see, and then what do you think?
Let's go what I would like to see and what I think it will be. What I think it will be is I think he'll stick with Timber, because I think he'll stick with the same formation. What I would like to see is potentially both of them coming in, because I feel like we should be going with a three at the back. That's what I think we should be having. Now, I think Ben White or Timber could probably play in both of them roles. We're going to have to use one of them if we go over wing back, right? Yeah. So I think Ben White's been overlapping and proven that. Timber's athletic enough to get back and forward. They're both defensively good enough. And I think both of them can do something going forward. What I think will happen is I think he'll go with a four at the back, and I think he'll stay with Timber. If we do go with four at the back, I would be with Laurie and play Ben White. I think Timber's the next one to get cropped, man. He's playing too many games. For a guy that's come back from an ACL, he's been phenomenal for us this season. Right back, left back, centre back. Let's give him a rest and play Ben White if we're going forward at the back.
I like that. That's a good assessment from both of you there. Let me go to centre back pairing. Kind of picks itself. No brainer. We can move forward. Saliba and Gabriel. That's what we think. What we believe that Arteta's going to go with. You mentioned about three at the back that you'd want to see potentially, but it's likely we're going to stick with we'll stick to 4-3-3. Saliba and Gabriel. That's fine. Left back. Obviously, Marzo Skelly being red carded. It probably will. Yeah, it'll register for this game straight away. Probably. I don't know if it's. Yeah, it'd be quick enough to register for this game. So he misses this game. Marzo Skelly, Calafiori. Or is anyone saying that Timber? You said Timber to start to be on the bench. Is anyone saying put Ben White in and put Timber on the left, or do you start?
No, the whole reason why I'm advocating for, well, not the whole reason. One of them, I want Timber to be rested.
So is it Calafiori for you on the left back?
Yeah. However, I would say this: that Calafiori on Saturday had a game to forget, man. I thought Wan-Bissaka absolutely tore him a new one, and that, in fact, their goal, the defending for that was absolutely scandalous. But listen, Calafiori, we got to be fair to him. It's his first season. He's coming to terms with playing in the Premier League. So obviously he's been a fairly big money signing with a big reputation, so he deserves time. So I would stick with him, but he needs to up his level.
Is that a fair assessment? Calafiori for you? Is that if he was going 4-3-3, does he start, or do you look to bring in a Zinchenko, a Tierney? No, I mean that's kind of where we're at.
I'll remain consistent. I haven't been on here for a while. Kieran Tierney, left back. He's our best one.
Consistency.
In my opinion, I think he's been the best left back Arsenal have had since Arteta's walked through the door. Nobody likes him because he can't invert and he's always injured, even though he's got less injury-prone time than that Tomiyasu hide-and-seek champion. So for me, I'll be going with Kieran Tierney, but it will be Calafiori. I'm not a fan of the locks, Calafiori.
You don't like that?
Not for me.
You don't like the aura?
You're a bit jealous of the hair.
Dear me, I'm jealous of his hair and those looks. That's about as far as it goes, bro. But I can't even lie to you. Elanga and Hudson-Odoi would be going, oh, thank God Calafiori's starting after what they've done. So Kieran Tierney for me.
Do you know
what?
It
Won't be.
No,
he might actually. Do you know what he might do? He might put Timber and Ben White.
And do you know what? When I was talking through it all, and I'm trying to keep this quick, I was thinking, wow, like, again, yeah, you said Elanga and Hudson-Odoi, they're going to be difficult, tricky. If you want to be resolute at the back, you pay, Ben White and Timber. And he might do that, but like you said, if he goes with a Ben White and a Calafiori, they're going to be rubbing their hands, those two wingers. So
can I just say that I hear what Dan's saying, because I'm a fan of Kieran Tierney as well. I like him as a player and as a person. He's a model pro for me. I just think he's probably a little bit past his time at Arsenal. But the mere fact that people like Dan, who knows his football's advocating for Tierney over Calafiori is a bit of a damning indictment on that signing. It is his first season. But the fact that you're saying you would rather see Tierney instead of Calafiori to
it's
me...
only on
it's
what we've seen so far.
And it's consistency for Dan as well. He's back Kieran Tierney.
I've always backed my boy Kieran Tierney.
Calafiori's got us out of situations, scored goals. He's been
It's his first season.
I don't dislike him.
But
he's not for me right now. I'm going to give him to the end of the season and we'll review it then. And he's 21. I ain't going to say he's a rubbish player and he's no good.
Yeah, exactly.
He could be a quality signing for us in the future. But right now, if I had to tell you who's better right now for Arsenal defensively, I'm going Kieran Tierney over Calafiori.
Let's move into midfield. It picks itself?
Yes,
Partey, Rice and Odegaard?
Yeah.
I am worried about Rice, by the way, though. I know I saw him frustrated coming off the pitch early against West Ham. Obviously, people say he wasn't having a great game. Some people, there was word that he might have felt a slight injury. That's why he's come off early. But I think it's just because Arteta wanted to make a change. But I think,
you know what it is with Declan Rice, right? So I think since he left West Ham, I think he's had 4 appearances against West Ham. Only one of them has been good.
Yeah, the one he scored.
Maybe they know how to play against him.
He needs to get this West Ham thing.
It's emotions. It's not. I don't think it's how they play against.
But
him.
I would still play that trio: Partey holding, Rice 8, Odegaard 10.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I think that's what he picks up. I don't spend too long on it. I think.
I agree with that. I have problems with Rice in at 8. I don't like it. I prefer him as a 6.
So do I.
I think he's a top 6. I think he's a alright 8. I don't think he's a Fabregas, but I think Arteta thinks he is. Yeah. I see him as more of a Rodri or a Michael Carrick type position-wise. I don't want to say he's as good as those two players, but I think for me that's what he'll go with: Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. And if we played him as a double pivot, I'd be quite happy with that. He seems to want Rice going forward all the time, and it's not for me. And Odegaard as well. Quick mention on him. I need to see more. I need to see more, man.
Yeah, I was going to skip over that. Well said, Captain Odegaard. I think he's come under a lot of light over this weekend, and people are going back to a few performances this season completely, but he really does need to step up, especially as a captain. And I think you're right. I don't think you're right. I know you're right. I prefer Rice in the 6. I think he has so much quality, but he's being exhausted doing the 8 roles. We don't get to see the other qualities that he possesses, whether it's just the deep line.
I think what we've done, just quickly on Odegaard, because I know you don't want to touch on it too long, but Bukayo Saka's so good, man. Because when Odegaard was out, I don't really know, Saka was like goal, assist, goal, assist, goal, assist. Odegaard's come back and it's like, 3 goals and 2 assists the whole this season? Nah, man, we didn't miss Odegaard. We don't miss them numbers. Ethan's got more than these guys. He's got 7 goals, Ethan, already.
So, what I would say about Odegaard is...
he needs to pick it up, bruv.
Very talented player, technically very gifted. However, I think the confidence has gone with the form. And secondly, the leadership is not quite there at the moment as well. You look at him playing at the moment, when Arsenal need a lift. I'm not saying he's hiding. I've heard some people say he's hiding. I wouldn't say that at all. He does show for the ball, but I just think as a leader, he doesn't strike me as a leader. And when we have situations like we did on Saturday against West Ham, you kind of see that he's
Did you
not,
see that clip of Trossard with the ball? He's got to do his run, and he runs away.
Yeah, Turkish was going mad.
I remember that. I remember that well because Turkish was balling him out. People said he was hiding. I don't think that was hiding. I think sometimes the way he plays his football, he does have these maverick tendencies where he does things, doesn't he? Some of them come off and some of them don't.
Well, you mentioned two things there. You mentioned his confidence and leadership, but you're the captain of Arsenal Football Club. Like, those are two things that if you're a captain, you need to be a leader. You need to step up in his moments. Maybe he didn't decide he wants to be the captain, but he's been the captain for a while now. I can't have you not have good leadership skills. And then confidence, you have to be, you're the beacon at the end of the day. Like, you are the captain. You have to bring confidence.
But the point I'm trying to make is if you look at that Arsenal team and you talk about leaders, right? So for me, two people stand out in that team that have leadership material. Gabriel Magalhaes and Declan Rice. Those two guys, to me, are leaders.
That's
why I can't excuse it.
Odegaard, for me, doesn't strike. And I'm not just saying this now. I've been saying this for a time. He's a leadership because he's the manager's guy. And on the pitch, the manager will appoint somebody who he feels will lead his team.
Okay, let's move forward to the front three where... this is where the conversation I'd say would become a bit more more fuller, because who do you play in that front line? Does it pick itself? Are you keeping Mikel Moreno? Are you putting Sterling? I'm come to this video at this moment and I actually have no clue what I want to see and what I think that Arteta's going to go with. So, lads,
I'll tell you what I would say, right? So,
where we go?
I didn't want him to start Mourinho against West Ham because I said that one of the main reasons why Mourinho did so well against Leicester is because he was an unknown quantity. He came off the bench, we were struggling, he provided something new, and he took his finishes well. But let's not forget, before that Leicester game, there was a lot of people, yourself included, questioning Mourinho whether he should even be in the team.
No, whoa, don't put... I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Bro.
I did not say that.
Well, maybe I've got the wrong AFTV person. He could have been... Okay, I apologise.
Me and James are the ones that say, I actually think Moreno's actually a good player. He hasn't done
No one's saying that he's not a good player. I'm saying, again, like Calafiori, he's not had a pre-season with us. It's his first season. I think it's fair to say he had not covered himself in glory.
Moreno?
Yeah. He scored a couple of goals before Leicester. But Dan, am I wrong? A lot of people were saying that this signing looks...
Yeah, a lot of fans.
Yeah, so I don't want people... Okay, maybe I'm not... I don't want to call you out if you didn't say it. But there was a lot of people that were questioning Mourinho, right? And again, it's not no shade on him. It's his first season. He's coming to terms with the hustle and bustle of the Premier League. He's had a few injuries as well. He had not set his Arsenal career alight up until the Leicester game. Came into the Leicester game, did well, took his finishes really good. But a lot of them people got carried away. Yeah, we found a striker. No, we hadn't. You know what I mean? He'd had a good 10 minutes in that game. I would not have started Mourinho because against West Ham, it's almost like West Ham were ready for it. They'd done their homework. Shout out to Graham Potter. He's outmanoeuvred Arsenal and Arteta a few times already in his career, and he did exactly the same thing on Saturday. So what I'm saying is, I've kind of gone a long way around.
Yeah, you have.
I don't want to see Mourinho start. I think if you're going to use him as an impact sub. I don't believe in that Mourinho up top. That is not the way forward.
Okay, so you're going to give me your front three?
Yeah, I would go with something maverick. I would go for Nwaneri through the middle if he's fit. I know he limped off on Saturday. Mm-hmm. But if he's fit and available, which we're hoping that he is, I would go Nwaneri through the middle. Do you want me to go with the other two? It's fairly obvious. Trossard on the left. I know he's been coming in for a hell of a lot of stick, but we don't really have much options. I'd go Raheem on the right.
Yeah, and let me come over to you, Dan. I mean, even in the last Predicts 11 video with James was laughing like Mourinho could have started against West Ham and it could be awful. He could be found a revelation against West Ham, against Leicester, sorry, but he could have played that 9 and not be a complete... he couldn't be a striker. That could be a possibility. That kind of, in my opinion, kind of happened. Not to say he had a terrible game against West Ham, but he's never going to be the long... I don't think it's ever going to be the long-term answer because he's not a striker. But yeah, thank you for that. Dan, your front three that you would like to see.
What's mad is, again, I actually wouldn't play Mourinho, so I would have had 3 at the back, wing backs, and then I'd go with Ethan and Trossard in front of Odegaard.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
What do I think he'll do is I think he'll start Mourinho like he did against West Ham, and I think he'll play Nwaneri and Trossard either side of him and then fling Sterling on. Now, a lot of people have said, particularly at the weekend, do we stick with Sterling and then bring on Mourinho again like he did against Leicester, so it's something different and then it's more of an impact sub. Yeah. But if we're starting Mourinho and we're not putting crosses into the box for him, I don't quite know what he's doing up there, if I'm honest. So what I think will happen, I think it will be the same front three that started against West Ham, and I think he'll this time we'll have to get Ethan and Trossard putting some more crosses into the box for Marino, because it's the only reason he's up there. Let's be real, he's not a striker. Right, we didn't buy this guy as a striker. We bought him as an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. He's nowhere near an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. Let's just have it right. So now he's being put up top. I don't know, man. It ain't for me, but we're so starved of it right now that we haven't got many options.
Yeah, that's it. I want to give you guys my front three, but if I'm being completely honest, I just want something different. I did like the idea of Ethan Manieri in the 9. That's not a bad idea. I think if you're crossing, spamming balls into the box of Mika Marino, they've got tall, good centre-backs. Murillo and I think Milinkovic, I think it is. They got good players at Nottingham Forest. I don't think that's the answer. I think you've got to try and counter on them. So give your fastest players to start, Ethan, a Sterling and a Trossard.
The reason why I'm advocating for Nwaneri to go through the middle, or at least be the false 9, is because he offers you something different. He's got the pace, he's got the low centre of gravity. That's the kind of thing that will trouble big-ass defenders. They don't like smaller guys, pacey, you know what I mean, troubling them like that. They're more expecting a physical battle. Let's give them something different to think about.
Let me just finish by saying as well, like, I'm worried about Ethan Manieri. I don't know if people forgot that he actually got injured this season as well. not the last game though. He was out in
fatigue or cramp, was it?
Yeah, that was the last game. But before that, when he was in the side, he had an injury. So I worry about overplaying him. Young player, a lot of pressure. That's what we got right now. But yeah, in the 9, I think you got to try and counter Nottingham Forest. I think you got to sit back and play counter-attacking football. It sounds mad, but I think that's the way we can kind of, trouble them, if I'm being completely honest, against Nottingham Forest. So let's hope there is something different Arteta goes with. Before we go and round up, Laurie, just give me your score prediction, because I had Potts on the preview. He's given us, I've given mine.
As much as I'd love to predict an Arsenal win, but I think realistically, if we go to Forest and get a point, I would be happy with that. So I'm going 2-2.
Desmond. All right, well, people, that is it for the Prince 11 video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you to Laurie and Dan Potts for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Take care.